Hi everyone, welcome to another tutorial on CrafTangles Art Cast, and today's topic is all about terrazzos. So terrazzo technique is one of the most popular technique when it comes to any of the casting products, and today I'll be taking you through the same using CrafTangles Art Cast. Now in case you have missed my earlier tutorials, which is the introduction to Art Cast and the previous one where I talked about ratios etc and just kind of an introduction on how you can cast using Art Cast, I would highly suggest you look those videos up before you get into these videos. I'll try and link them in the description below so you can check them out. Now going forward, let's get into the terrazzo technique. So terrazzo technique is kind of like a terrazzo chips that you get embedded into the main casting, and it kind of creates a beautiful effect which is very famous in art casting products. And you can make like beautiful things out of it. You can make a bowl, you can make a coaster like how we are doing today, or you could do literally like planters etc, anything. So we are going to talk about a couple of techniques. Today we will talk about a traditional technique which is more about adding the layers of terrazzos into our main mix and then kind of sanding them down, which is a bit more which takes a bit more you could say elbow grease, but it's fun at the end of the day. So what I do is I start off with my art cast mixes. I take same two liquids and two corresponding powders, and you can see that what I have done is I have kind of taken two pigments which I wanted to use because I wanted to kind of create a pastely color. So I have taken one pink and one purple color. Now these pigments are specifically made for art cast, so they are extremely vibrant and colorful, and you can see how just by adding a couple of drops I was able to create a very vibrant pastely color that I wanted to go for. You could of course mix the two pigments to create your own color, or you could add more to make it even more dark and vibrant, or you could add less to make it more pastely. Depends on what look you are going for. Now initially I have started with two small cups of mixes because I wanted to create terrazzo chips. So the purple and pink are the two small mixes that we have created, and the quantity is very less, like 5 grams 10 grams of liquid and corresponding amount of powder. So the ratio of liquid and powder for art cast is 1 part liquid and 2.5 part powder. So this is by weight, and you have to follow the same ratio if you want a sturdy casted product. Now here you can see that I kind of first did the purple one, and whenever you are mixing, whenever you are ready to cast is only when you mix your liquid and powder, because you don't have a lot of time with these art cast product. You have probably 15 to 20 minutes, so only when you are ready to cast them is when you should mix the two things. Now here you can see how easily they are spreadable. So what I have done is I have kind of spread them on my old poly bags that I had from like my old papers or transfers etc, and I'm just kind of spreading the liquid, the cast mix on top of it, and this will take I think 5 minutes 7 minutes, not more than that. And once they dry, they will automatically start peeling away from the plastic. However, you can of course kind of mold the plastic like how I am doing here, and remove those chips and then kind of scrunch them with your hands to create small chips. You could also use like a balun or a stick to kind of pound them and make it even smaller. I felt honestly they were just about 5 or 7 minutes, maximum 10 minutes within the dry. They were quite malleable, and I was able to easily create small chips using just my hand. So I went with my hand, and now here you can see I have created a lot of purple chips. The same concept I'll use to create pink chips, and that will give me terrazzo chips, which will be then adding into our mix to create a terrazzo technique coaster. Now that we are ready with both the chips, we'll move on to actually making the coaster. So for the coaster, I have kind of decided to use like 40 ml of liquid. So what I do is I will remove the required amount of liquid, and I'll just check whether it's weighed correctly or not, and then I will remove it multiplied by 2.5 amount of powder. So here you can see it was my bad. It was actually 50 ml of liquid that I have taken between the two small cups, and then 50 into 2.5, which is 125 gram of powder, is what I'm going to use for the coaster. Now if there are a little bit of leftover, you can of course use it in another mold. So I would highly suggest that you keep things ready if you want to use it in another mold. And also terrazzo chips will add to the volume of your mix, right? So normally, probably if this would not have been a terrazzo coaster, I would have taken like 175 gram of mix, because I want to completely fill with the coaster with the powder. However, since I know that I'll be adding a lot of terrazzo chips, which will increase the volume, and that is why I have gone with a less amount of mix, which is 125 ml of powder and 50 ml of 125 gram of powder and 50 gram of liquid. Now here you can see the amount of terrazzo chips that I have added. I was quite liberal because I took purposefully took less amount of powder, because I knew that I wanted to add a lot of terrazzo chips to it. And here you can see that once I gave it a thorough mix, and then I am kind of adding everything into the mold, and you could see the consistency here. So that is why I say that while you are working with casting, make sure that you are quick and you are ready with your next things, like you are ready with your mold, you are ready with your stick and everything, so that once you start mixing your powder and liquid, everything is ready, right? So you don't have a blobby structure that now you want to put into the mold and kind of put in effort. So that is why the more liquidy it is easier for you to pour it into the mold and tap it out and remove the bubbles, etc. So be extremely quick as soon as you start mixing. So here you can see that I have mixed it, I have added it into the coaster, I have tapped the mold thoroughly to make sure that there are no bubbles that I'll get, and then I have started my stopwatch. So why did I start my stopwatch here is because I wanted to show you when I'll be demolding, because many a times people find it very unreal that you could demold anything so quick. But yes, you could. Now here you can see the time during which I'm demolding it, and I think it is just 30 minutes or so. And now that you see here is our demold product. Now since you are doing terrazzo technique the old way, which is where you will have to do sanding, etc., so for this particular technique I would suggest that you start doing sanding once you remove your product. Now why I tell this is because it is still curing, right? So till the time it is not cured, or till the time the water is not completely evaporated, it is easier for you to sand this. So right now it is easier for you to sand rather than if you sand it the next day, because it will be very hard. So that is why whenever you are sanding, this is a pro tip for you, that in case of such kind of terrazzo project, start sanding immediately after you have demolded. And as soon as I start sanding, do you see all those beautiful like colors popping through the natural white color of the coaster that we have created? So do you see how beautifully all those terrazzo chip look is coming? I'll zoom it out so that you can see the detailing. Now this was just using like doing it for a minute or so. Now you could do it as much as you want, like you could probably do this for 10 minutes or so, till the time you are happy of how much color is seeing through, etc. Also the combination of these, like you could go crazy, you could do like a mint and a black color, or you could do a lot of beautiful combinations, because terrazzo is all about experimenting with the colors and how much you sand, right? So you could go crazy with this. I kind of kept it very minimal, because I went with your typical colors, which was like pastely colors along with white, and I did not do a lot of sanding. I could have done even more and let the color show through even more. However, I was really happy with how this look. You can see that it shows even on the sides, because I sanded the sides, the back, the front, everything, and from everywhere I could see those beautiful terrazzo chips showing through. So that was the project for today, guys. I have another technique of terrazzo which I'll be sharing soon with you all today. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and do consider subscribing to my channel. I'll see you in my next tutorial, guys. Till then, take care. Bye bye.